Today, renowned voice actress Amamiya Sora is seen by many as a cool beauty with looks on the level of models, but what you may not know are the two hidden sides of her: a troubled past filled with self-esteem issues, and an unhinged, chaotic personal life akin to her own character, Aqua from Konosuba, earning her the title in real life useless goddess by the Japanese, which we will get into a lot later. Tenchan, yes, that's her nickname, was, for a lack of better words, a very narcissistic child. She'd literally call herself the cutest girl in the world, even more than the actresses on TV, and with this confidence, would always run for the roles that stood out the most in plays and dramas, being universally praised when she did perform. Naturally, child beauty Tenchan started to think, I really am someone who should be in the spotlight. I want a job like that in the future. However, life wasn't so nice to her soon after. In middle school, for reasons Tenchan has never publicly disclosed, she started to be abandoned and rejected by all her friends around her. Was it bullying? Conflicts? Arguments? Who knows? But the point is, we know it was bad. It left Tenchan traumatized for the next decade, heart in shambles. From there on out, Tenchan's personality did a 180 shift, preferring to stay alone in most of her free time and facing everything in life negatively. Somehow, talking to people properly became very difficult. So began an inferiority complex that would span for years upon years. The endless days of scolding, screaming at herself to change, hating herself, feeling completely useless. That's why, at the time, no matter how miserable she was, she decided on a goal. When I reach 30 years old, I will reach the peak of my happiness, she said as she began to work hard on herself. The first thing Tenchan wanted to improve was her confidence. She wanted to be able to keep her nerves in check while standing in front of others again, which is why she joined the acting club in middle school and the light music club as the vocalist in high school. While it didn't exactly improve her communication skills, Tenchan mentioned that it was an important experience that helped her understand the joys of being a performer, seeing the crowd roar and go wild. It left an impact on her heart that would soon influence her major life choices. At about the same time, Tenchan had an otaku friend introduce renowned voice actress Sawashiro Miyuki with a compilation of her performances. Perhaps it was the cool voice, perhaps it was the sense of authority, but something struck Tenchan deeply. She's so cool. I want to be like her. Very soon after, as a Sawashiro Miyuki fangirl that religiously listened to her voice every day on repeat with an MP3 player, Tenchan decided that she wanted to follow in her footsteps and become a voice actress. Mind you, this was purely because of Sawashiro. She didn't even know the anime or role Sawashiro was playing. She just simply thought Sawashiro herself was cool as hell. Tenchan herself said, and I quote, "Rather than wanting to become a voice actor because I liked anime, I wanted to become a voice actor because I liked voice actors." And so, with a goal in mind, towards the end of high school, Tenchan applied for the second Music Rain Super Seiyuu auditions. The hell is this name? And amazingly passed the auditions first try, debuting the next year at the end of 2012. That acting club must have been on some steroids or something, because in a similar fashion, Tenchan would skyrocket to fame almost immediately. In her first year, she already got the big role of Kitazawa Shiho in Idolmaster Million Live, a giant multimedia franchise. But the next year is where she'd legitimately make her entire career. In 2014, Tenchan got her first main character role, Kaori in Ishukan Friends, and this would continue to hold a very special place in her heart as she covered the then viral ending song, Kanade by Tsukima Switch, and would then be invited to perform that very song on Fuji TV's Music Fair with the original artist alongside Chris Hart. And later, she even did a piano cover on her very own channel. Yes, she can apparently play the piano. But anyway, in that very same 2014, just 2014, she also got the roles of Toka from Tokyo Ghoul, Asylum from Aldnoah Zero, Akame from Akame ga Kill, and Elizabeth from Seven Deadly Sins. Literally 4 main characters from historically popular anime. She even kicked off her music career, singing the opening of Akame ga Kill and formed the now huge seiyuu artist group Trisale with comrades Asakura Momo and Natsukawa Shina. Remember, all of this was accomplished in just 1 year, the second year of her debut. Bro, most seiyuu are struggling to get one main character role from a niche anime in their second year. Holy shit. To the surprise of absolutely nobody, Tenchan would proceed to win the Best Newcomer Award in the 2015 Seiyuu Awards and continue to go on an absolute tear with roles. Ayla from Plastic Memories, Miya from Monster Musume, Mayuri from Date Alive, Natsuki from Anthem of the Heart, the useless goddess Aqua, Louis from Recreators, Kanade from Hibike Euphonium, Miruko-chan, Nanami from Madoka Magiya Record, Ayame from Decay Love, Nessa from Pokemon, Chizuru from Rent a Bitch Friend, Low Nebulous 4 Alices from Kimito Boku no Saigo no Senjo, あるいは世界が始まる聖戦 Jesus Christ, Honoka from Mahoka, Lily from Spy Classroom, Nazuna from Call of the Kasumi Night, from Persona 5 Illustrious and Triumphant from Azure Lane, Maxwell and Crow from Nikkei, and that's only the big ones. There's also all these I'm missing and more. Needless to say, the voice actress Tenchan was popping off, and so was the artist Tenchan. After the initial boost of, well, singing the opening for probably one of the most popular anime that decade, she proceeded to sing the ending of said anime, then created a bunch of new songs that would go boom and do a giant live tour around Japan. This was not just any ordinary average success as a voice actress artist though. In 2021, she became the first voice actress in history to be featured on The First Take, a prestigious music channel, twice, then a third and fourth time because her group Trisale was also popping off. Oh yeah, they just announced a Budokan live. By the way, in the same year, Tenchan also became the first voice actress in history to appear on TV Tokyo Music Festival. Yes, she appeared on TV as an artist. What am I trying to say? This girl just skyrocketed to fame almost immediately after her debut and made her name as one of the biggest voice actresses, and even voice actress artists, with little to no hiccups along the way. As far as careers go, this is probably one of the exemplary success stories in the industry. Yet what may come as surprising is, the whole time Tenchan was shining to the world, she was certainly not shining to herself. See, Tenchan held this certain negative attitude of never assume things will go okay. Even after she successfully debuted, it wasn't a celebration in her mind, but a I don't know if this will go well. Perhaps it's this uncertainty that pushed Tenchan to always strive to be better, to never settle, because man was she strict on herself. But also man was her mental health a mess. When she first debuted, she still didn't think she even deserved the title voice actor. And while recording, she took it really seriously, maybe too seriously. If she felt that she messed up by the slightest bit, even if the staff doesn't really care, she'd automatically request a retake again and again. This could be seen as a positive thing, wanting to be on her very best in every take. Yet even when the recording's done, even when the director's A-okay with all the work, that seed of doubt would never leave Tenchan's mind. She recounts stories of how back then, she'd be flooded by anxiety-driven thoughts. Like, was my performance really the correct way to do it? Was there a better way to act? And start breaking down crying on the way home after recording. She always looked at all the other voice actors around her, thinking they understand their characters on a much deeper level than I do, feeling vastly inferior. I don't think that's healthy. On the other hand, whenever she had to perform live on stage, she'd suffer from extreme anxiety, to the point where staff would simply comfort her with 3 conditions. As long as you don't throw up, don't turn back, and don't fall down, it's okay, you'll be fine. These kinds of conditions and mindset lasted for years past her debut, and clearly it's not very good for her. It was only after many times of directly communicating her feelings of inferiority to her coworkers and seniors, of them telling her that her performance was great, that this is Tenchan's style of acting, of fans saying they were glad Tenchan, and Tenchan specifically, voiced certain roles, that she started to believe in herself just a bit. Tenchan does openly talk about these issues regarding her negativity and horrendous mental state in school, and it does does seem like recently, on the outside, there's been less and less of this kind of negative talk from her. Of course, we'll never completely know what's going on in the industry in her own mind, but I sincerely hope that she holds some confidence to her name. She is the Amamiya Sora. She has many fans and I am one of them. So you might think, why is such a both capable talent and anxiety-driven mess called a useless goddess? The goddess part we get, but useless? Isn't that flat out wrong? Well, you know how the class clown is always actually the most depressed one? Yeah, she's not useless at her career, but Tenjan here has some similarities to a certain useless goddess she voices. Oh, let's blast through a few useless goddess stories. You know Aqua's intelligence level? Alright, so putting failing exams in school aside, we have gluing her socks so they don't go loose and fall down, using lip balm as moisturizer all over her face. Yes, she slathered lip balm all over her face. Accidentally using face wash as toothpaste. Accidentally using toothpaste as lipstick. Wearing shoes from 2 different pairs for official recording sessions. Oh, and she forgets her wallet at home, like a lot apparently, and just goes to restaurants and realizes afterwards, to the point where she's used to it. When she invites her co-workers or friends to restaurants, then she'll remember to bring her wallet, only to realize she has $2 entire inside. Then we have the classic screaming. She hates insects, so you show her even a tiny spider? You bring her on a roller coaster. How about a haunted house? In this recording for Miyaruko-chan, she literally yeeted herself out of the haunted house and rammed straight into the cameraman. This is just a Konosuba skit. But how about some alcohol? Tenchan, like Aqua, is somewhat of an alcoholic herself. Multiple other seiyuu have seen her shit-faced drunk. She goes drinking alone a bunch since it's her stress relief, and she literally says that it's hard for her to get close to someone if they can't go drinking together. Bro, I think this is worse than Aqua. Oh, we also have Aqua's personality down. You know how Aqua always thinks she's beautiful? Well, Tenjan's self-esteem might have been shattered, but certainly not her opinions on her looks. After her high school graduation, she thought that all the people who might have had a hard time talking to her would come rushing to confess their love to her at their last chance. So she spent a bunch of time just walking around the school waiting for someone to confess to her. No one did. And finally, according to Trisale, she likes bullying her close friends. A lot. They would know because they're her close friends. After making this video, I'm really starting to see how this girl failure takes after Aqua. It's funny because so many other voice actors have also said they had this impression of her being a cool beauty, only to realize she was the absolute opposite of cool when meeting her. Is this what we call Gap Moe? I guess one other thing that would also portray her as a mess, literally, is there was a period of time where apparently her entire house was an actual dumpster. Like, zero space on the floor. The wardrobe is slanted by 30 degrees. Dumpster. And she literally only found the rotting pear under her bed that's been there for God knows how long because of the horrendous smell. It is possible that this was when she was super depressed and anxiety-ridden. Well, that's just a theory. One last small thing I want to mention is Tenchan's absolute obsession with the color blue. It's not just that her favorite color is blue, it's everything has to be blue. Her music? Blue. Her videos? Blue. Her outfits? Blue. No, seriously, I swear she's in blue half the time. She claims it's because the color reminds her of a strong will and helps her calm down, which is admittedly very cute and suits Aqua's color. Yet when you look back at her entire journey, perhaps it's possible that she never needed that calming down. Despite that self-deprecation that's lasted for so long, it was really all in her head. There basically hasn't been a single step on the journey where she hasn't succeeded immediately with no drawbacks. Her audition? First try. Big roles. Came immediately. Music career? Popped off instantly, and that momentum has lasted over a decade, leaving her as one of the most successful voice actors to date. So is she a useless goddess? Maybe in some ways, but certainly not the professional way. Back then, Tenchan said that she wanted to reach the peak of her happiness when she hit 30. Well, It's time. She's 31 now. As a fan, I hope she's enjoying the peak of her happiness, because if there was just one thing I could directly tell her myself, it'd be,
"Cause you know what I'm here for, to worship you. Love yourself. I mean that with 100%, with 1,000%.